So look, Ohio, we have tried it John McCain's way. We have tried it George Bush's way. And deep down, Senator McCain knows that, which is why his campaign said that if we keep talking about the economy, we're going to lose. That's why he's spending these last weeks calling me every name in the book. Because that's how you play the game in Washington. If you can't beat your opponent's ideas, you distort those ideas and maybe make some up. If you don't have a record to run on, then you paint your opponent as someone people should run away from. You make a big election about small things. Ohio, we're here to say, not this time, not this year, not when so much is at stake. John McCain might be worried about losing an election, but I'm worried about Americans who are losing their homes and their jobs and their life savings. I can take one more week of John McCain's attacks, but this country can't take 4 more years of the same failed politics and the same failed policies. It's time to try something new. It is time, Ken, to try something new. The question in this election is not, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? We all know the answer to that. The real question is, will this country be better off 4 years from now? Ohio, that's what hope is. That thing inside us that insists, despite all evidence to the contrary, that something better is waiting around the bend, that insists there are better days ahead, if we're willing to work for it, if we're willing to shed our fears and our doubts, if we're willing to reach deep down inside ourselves when we're tired, when we're worn out, and we come back fighting harder. Hope. That's what kept some of our parents and grandparents going when times were tough. What led them to say, maybe I can't go to college, but if I save a little bit each week, my child can go to college. Maybe I can't have my own business, but if I work really hard, my child can open one of her own. Hope. It's what led immigrants from distant lands to come to these shores against great odds and carve a new life for their families in America. What led those who couldn't vote to march and organize and stand for freedom, that led them to cry out, it may look dark tonight, but if I hold on to hope, tomorrow will be brighter. That's what this election's about. That's the choice we face right now. Ken, don't believe for a second this election's over. Don't think for a minute that power concedes. We have a lot of work to do. We have to work like our future depends on it in this last week, because it does depend on it this week. In 1 week's time, we can choose an economy that rewards work and creates new jobs and fuels prosperity from the bottom up. In 1 week, we can choose to invest in health care for our families and education for our kids and renewable energy for our future. In 1 week, we can choose hope over fear and unity over division, the promise of change over the power of the status quo. In 1 week, we can come together as one nation and one people and once more choose our better history. That's what at stake. That's what we're fighting for. And if in this last week you'll knock on some doors for me and make some calls for me and talk to your neighbors and convince your friends, if you'll stand with me and fight with me and give me your vote, then I promise you, we will not just win Ohio, we will win this general election, and together we'll change this country and we will change the world. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Let's get to work.